Yo, what's up, my dark mages? It's your boy Zokumax here, back with another video, and this is part 7 of What If Naofumi Was a Saiyan. And that's two parts, I guess. But anyway, last part left off, we weren't doing almost the rest of the season, but this last part, Naofumi just ran into Mosiyasu after Mosiyasu was thinking that Naofumi killed Rana Isuki. And he's currently trying to murder Naofumi. But throughout this whole, without any further ado, let's get into it. So, mostly also just sending attack after attack at Naofumi, eventually working towards him, trying to just straight up kill him. And he keeps telling Naofumi he's a murderer. And Naofumi's like trying to get him to listen. He says, "Wait, what are you talking about? Don't play dumb." As he calls out, "Lightning javelin!" Bashing his spear towards Naofumi, but it just don't work as Naofumi goes Super Saiyan and blocks it. As Naofumi goes Super and blocks it. He's like, "You bloody bastard! You know what you did!" As he's rushing towards mostly Naofumi. Naofumi's like, "What are you talking about?" And Mai shouts out, "As source as my power as less queen, I command thee. Decipher the laws of magic and blast my target around my target, damaging him with its sense flames." As her party members, well, mostly also party members, blast a massive forms a massive ball of wind, enhancing the flames, firing it at Naofumi. He's like, "Wait, what is that?" As Naofumi, Melty, and Philo easily try deflecting the blasts since they're still level capped at level 40. Sadly, they're currently still level capped at level 40. As Naofumi, Melty and Philo, shoots a massive blast, creates a typhoon, and fire it towards them. But Naofumi is able to block it, being a higher level than a cannon. But not with Naofumi and Super Saiyan. But Naofumi and Super Saiyan, he starts firing up. He decides to get more serious, and he starts firing Ki Blast X Mosiyasu, blinding him a little bit, and it's still damaging him. As he tries out his own carbonation attack with a Soul Eater shield, stealing half of Moriyasu mana, and just added it to his own. As he begins to rush towards Mosiyasu, putting the straight hands on this man, like he's doing some bull. He putting hands on this man right now, and Mosiyasu is getting angry about this. As he still fires it, tries to attack He still tries to attack Naofumi, even though he's on the losing side. Naofumi gets tired of this. He activates the curse shield, but then he senses something coming. He's like, and Philo senses too, and she yells out to Naofumi. He yells out to Naofumi, "Master, activate the curse shield!" And she brings over Melty and Raptalia. She hits all of the Spirit Hero party members in there, as well as Osiyasu. "We need more power!" And Naofumi's power up to full, activating Key Barrier around them all, and the shield prison with the airstrike shield and a secondary shield on top of that. And he's holding his curse shield up, waiting for the attacks to come. But just as a massive explosion goes off, and it breaks through almost every shield. Naofumi he's barely even able to hold it back. It's almost like the full ports, thousands of tens of thousands attacked them. Naofumi don't even know what happened. As he falls to the ground, damaged, a little bit hurt, not being damaged all that much, but he falls to the ground hurt and tired. As the Pope comes out, well, saying, "Well, you're able to survive. You're able to survive judgment." Huh? What? And my how dare you? This is treason. This royal family. As the Pope says, it's time we do away with royal families and allow the church to run this country. What what a royal family does, burning down a forest, and a princess who takes half of the country money for herself. These false heroes, especially the devil of the show, have caused chaos. The spear hero have unleashed a plague upon the garden. The spear of bow heroes care about nothing but themselves. And all about words, the devil of the shield. The devil of the shield. It's like, huh. And mostly also tries to play it off like nothing ever happened. And now for me and him trying to power up. Well, not for me power up. He shoots a little bit of keys to Naofumi and the rest of the party to heal them up a little bit. And summoning magic, using his magic to heal them a little bit. So he can have at least a single fighting chance. It's mostly also sent a javelin spear. Since the javelin spear swords, the Pope's easily just blocked it, and now mostly also was like, wait, what? Huh, you see his weapon. Mostly also yells out he's cheating. He's cheating. But this weapon is a direct copy. This weapon is a direct copy of all four of the cardinal weapons. Made a long time ago, but the church found this weapon and sealed it away a long time ago to now. The problem with it, didn't even need your heroes. Your only problem with this weapon, it takes hundreds of times the mana. I'm pretty sure that judgment I sent down towards you drained half of my soldiers, power. If not all, at least a good chunk of my soldier powers, my disciple powers, or mana. And now, huh? You're still no match for me. It's not for me. And Mosiyasu begins to go, and Naofumi sends a massive blast of ki towards the Pope, and the Pope just blocked it. Pope actually gets sent flying back. But the disciples are praying, killing the Pope, casting hell and magic upon him, and him just being going back up to full strength, using his full power. But just as he's about to attack Mosiyasu and Naofumi again, random Ichiki shows up, sending 100 swords, and Ichiki shooting him with his bow at the Pope. As they come down the crater with Mosiyasu and Naofumi, he's like, huh, I knew you two wouldn't get killed that easily. How could you guys even escape? As he points out, the shadows actually help them, and the Queen is on her way to send reinforcements. Apparently, she's bringing along a massive army to help fight this off. And now for me, ask the Pope, so we can count this as treason against the country. Treason. Very well, you may consider it that, but just know you will fall today. As they begin to as he's come bring forth the retrieval. Oh, this massive dome appear around them, and they all begin to power up, and they try rushing towards the Pope. I don't know how it essentially goes the same as in canon, but now for me, he's firing off massive balls of ki. He's not letting up whatsoever. Shooting a massive blast of ki towards the Pope, almost outrunning him. Then Mosiyasu shoots the javelin spear. Shows Pope actually stabbing him a little bit, but the mages try healing him even more. But they're still failing after that. They're still in immense pain after that. Almost, it's literally not working at all. But Melty, Mine, and everybody shoots massive waves of fire, wind, and water towards Pope. It actually begins to attack him. But Pope begins to get serious and shooting massive waves of energy using a sword and shots using a bow. As he uses the spear, shooting his own version of the lightning javelin spear and sending it towards them, pushing them all back, and Naofumi is barely able to block it. Then he has Multiaxel hits his shield, inflicting Multiaxel's spear curse, and he sends it towards the Pope. And with even more key, shooting an even bigger blast to try to attack him. And Naofumi and the same thing happened in canon. The Pope still activates that attack thing, and everybody try getting cut, and Naofumi's barely able to dodge it, but he's being protected by his key barrier. But everybody else isn't. Naofumi begins to literally feel enraged, and the shield's taking over. And he sees something called the Wrath Shield. And he's even more angry. At this time, as Sammy and Cannon, they're all still able to calm him down. But before that, Naofumi is so enraged and so filled with bloodlust, with revenge on everyone. He's remembering everyone did to him. He's remembering the hatred he felt at how he was falsely killed. He remembers everything that this world put him through. And this is enough to actually allow him to access Super Saiyan 2. As he's powered up even more filled with bloodlust and rage, as well as the Rage Shield or the Wrath Shield taking over, nearly controlling him completely. But luckily, Raphael, Philo, and Melty, they're all able to calm him down and help Naofumi regain control. But the Pope, he's not giving him time to rest. He charged a massive blast towards Naofumi them again, and half of them aren't able to dodge it, and they actually get hurt, and Naofumi is enraged. He flies towards the Pope. And he tried throwing hands at the Pope. But the Pope is such a high level above Naofumi, that's barely working, even though Naofumi stats are boost over 100 times by now. It's boost over hundreds of times. And he's pushing the Pope back. And the Pope is actually being damaged by this. And the disciples, there's just not enough. So now the Pope is forced to use the cursive weapon of the shield in order to defend himself. As well, a disciple of God uses the power of the devil apparently. How have you fallen? Well, you're fallen. But the shield was never a weapon of the devil. This country made it that way. As far as I can tell, none of the previous shield heroes was ever, even though this country hates him so much. Is he power up his word this, and he sends it flying towards the Pope, and the Pope blocks it with the spear. As he goes on a weapon, retreats back into the spear, as the light reaches top of the power. As Naofumi flies up to the light. But this doesn't happen the same way as in canon. It's the Pope actually fire off the attack, and Naruto goes powering up to his full to try to block it, but he just can't. He's being pushed back hundreds of times full, and he's just barely able to hold it. But then Melty, Fila, or Reptile all comes with him and start pushing it back with him using their mana as well. And pushing it back with Naofumi. Even Ren, Isaki, and Mosi also starts to help push the light back and tries to fire it back at the Pope. But just think if the Cream mages come along with the Cream army and they start attacking and taking out the disciples. And this actually weakens the Pope a bunch, and they're able to redirect it towards the Pope and just start hitting him with full power. But the same thing happened in canon, and to make sure the Pope is defeated, as you can still see him getting back up and healing from the disciples that's remaining. Now, Fomi used the same skill he did as in canon. And it still destroys his body. But now that's back because Super Saiyan 2, and the attack is even greater than what it was in canon. Is even greater than what it was in canon. Naofumi's about to get a massive Zenkai boost. His level even finna rage from this. And it nearly kills him. But just then, a massive dragon jaw pops out of the ground and attack him. And this ends up defeating the Pope once and for all, killing him in the process as a giant pool of his blood and wherever the rest of the blood came from. I really don't know where it came from in canon. First up, and Levi, the Pope is defeated. His glasses blow up in the pool of blood. Crap. Yeah, that man does not survive his beating. Naofumi and the heroes put on him. But Naofumi passes out as he hears Rafsaya call out his name. But at least a week goes by. We know that for a fact. And Naofumi wakes up still injured and hurt. But he feels almost healed. And he gets 100. And he feels stronger. He checks his level and stats. He went from level 40 to level 70. And he's like, wait, what? And there's no way I grinded all of this. Yeah, that Zenkai boost is really powerful. His stats is hundreds of times more powerful now. As he looks at his shield menu, and he's like, wait, Saiyan Shield? Super Saiyan Shield 1? Super Saiyan Shield 2? And he's like, wait, what are those? But Naofumi doesn't have time to ponder this. And he still speaks to Cream. And he knows what's about to happen to mine and King. And he sees mine begging to him. Just the same way as in canon. The same as in canon. And he decides helping Melty, not mine. He does care about her. He doesn't want her to see her hurt. He decides to save. He decides to save the princess and shut up, bitch ass nigga. Save mine and the princess. Same name, mine will not be known as bitch and the king trash. And our adventurer name will be Horn. That was annoying. But he still ends up saving her. But this is actually the end. I'm not going to do that Allen arc. Want to know why? Because it's getting retcon. So I guess this is the end for What If Naofumi Was a Saiyan Season 1. Hope y'all all enjoyed. This has been Zoku Misa. Peace out. See y'all in Season 2 of What If Naofumi Was a Saiyan.